Hello, I'm Raider Pilot Steve and welcome to my channel. This is my review of the Duxford VE Day Flying Day 2025. All the photos featured on this video were taken by me unless stated otherwise. The main theme of the day was the 80th anniversary of VE Day, which took place on the 8th of May. A short flying display was the main part of the event, which featured several Duxford-based warbirds as well as some aerobatic elements. The weather was sunny with clear blue skies, although the strong winds did complicate things at various stages. The event had a nice selection of aircraft on static display in the main showground. The highlight of these was the commemorative Air Force's Douglas R4D 6S Dakota ready for duty, which was being based at Duxford as part of the Navy to Victory tour for the VE80 celebrations. This was the first UK show in which it would appear. Unfortunately, the strong winds prevented it from taking off for some local flights before and after the main flying display. Plain Sailing's Canadian Vickers PBV-1A Canzo A was also out on display. This is a Canadian-built version of the consolidated PBY-5A Catalina, and this particular example is currently the only airworthy Catalina in Europe. The Fighter Collection's Hawker Nimrod 1 was also displayed outside the collection's hangar. It is also currently the only airworthy Nimrod in the world. A common sight on the showground of Duxford is Paul Ford's Fokker DR1 replica, painted in the colours of the Red Baron. Joining the triplane was Paul Ford's latest acquisition, a Fokker D7 replica, which also underwent an engine run on the main airfield prior to the flying display. There was also a privately owned Piper L-21B Super Cub on display, sporting United States Army colours. The Imperial War Museum's airspace exhibit will be undergoing a big change over the next few years, and two of its displays were outside on the showground. There was the Avro York C1, which is painted in Dan Air London colours for whom it once operated under, as well as a de Havilland DH-106 Dove 6 in the colours of the Civil Aviation Flying Unit. There was also some interesting visitors along the main flight line. Hurricane 501's Hawk Hurricane Mark I was present at the show and took off as part of a local flight prior to the flying display. This Hurricane actually flew during the Battle of Britain before being shot down over Kent on the 28th of September 1940. Tom Turner's Piper L4H Grasshopper was also parked up next to the example that would display later on. Some of the other visitors to the airfield included an Avector EV97 Eurostar, a Pitts S1S Special from Old Warden, a Reims F172N Skyhawk, and a Duxford-based Yakovlev Yak 52. Next was the exciting flying display that kicked off the 2025 UK Airshow season. Opening the show was Pete Kinsey's Levere Cosmic Wind Ballerina, which put on an excellent aerobatic routine. This aircraft is one of only 6 examples built and the winner of the King's Cup Air Race in 1964. More aerobatics followed, with Anna Walker in her Casa 131E Youngman, which was really put through its paces for an aircraft built in the 1950s. This aircraft is the Spanish-built version of the Booker BU-131 Youngman. Next was a Battle of Britain section, which featured a trio of iconic warbirds. First up was the aircraft restoration company's Hispano Buchon, which is a Spanish-built version of the infamous Messerschmitt Bf-109, which carried out an airfield attack. Scrambling to intercept was the Imperial War Museum Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A and Fighter Aviation Engineering's Hawker Hurricane Mark I, which performed a series of formation passes before engaging the enemy aircraft in an aerial dogfight. Following a series of tail chases, the invading aircraft is shot down, as indicated by the smoke generator attached to the Buchon. This particular Bouchon still wears the colours it wore during the filming of the Battle of Britain film. This Hurricane flew with 253 Squadron, where it took part in the Battle of Britain, whilst this Spitfire had a short combat career in which it flew during the Battle of France. Despite the blustery conditions, the Tiger Club turbulent team was still able to put on an entertaining performance of formation and low passes, with 3 of their 4 drew in D31 turbulence, with 1 unable to participate due to technical gremlins. The wind was a tad too rough for the team to do their usual limbo flying and balloon bursting. The team is one of the world's longest running aerobatic display teams, which was formed in 1959. More warbird action came courtesy of Comanche Fighters LLC, with 2 of their Supermarine Spitfires which are based here at Duxford. The Mark 1A took part in the filming of the Battle of Britain film, whilst the LF-9E took part in D-Day operations under 443 Royal Canadian Air Force Squadron, with several confirmed kills against German aircraft, and was also operated as a training aircraft by the Indian Air Force. The pair flew a graceful series of formation passes before splitting off for some solo flypasts and aerobatic manoeuvres. The penultimate display of the day was in the form of Antony Bendowski's Piper L4H Grasshopper, which gave a short demonstration of its incredible handling characteristics, even in the very windy conditions. The flying display was closed by a pair of potent fighters, featuring the Republic P-47D Thunderbolt Nellie B and the Grumman F-8F-2P Bearcat, which are operated by Fighter Aviation Engineering and the Fighter Collection respectively. The pair arrived in formation for a single pass before performing their own solo routines. In conclusion, despite the tricky wind conditions, the Duxford VE Day Flying Day 2025 was excellent, with the Battle of Britain segment and Spitfire pair being particular highlights. The static exhibits were also great to see, especially the R4D. I look forward to returning to Duxford for future events. If you wish to see more of my photos from this event and others, I have linked my Flickr page in the description below. My next show will be the Shuttleworth Military Airshow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you join me in the next one. Bye.